The year was 1987. That was the year when the original Little Master, Sunny Gavaskar, decided to bid farewell to Test cricket. That was the time when the Babri Masjid was still alive, when the Mandal versus Kamandal agitation was just beginning to pick up, and when India was still trying to figure out what was the acceptable version of politics of our country. Cut to 2013, when the second Little Master, Sachin Tendulkar, decides to bid adieu to Test cricket. By then, the pain, the scars of Lehman Brothers stock market crash have just subsided. India is now on the world map, and Narendra Modi, the then Chief Minister of Gujarat, was just about to make his mark on national politics. And now, in 2025, when two of our biggest Test players, Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, have both decided to hang up their bats as far as red ball cricket is concerned, India is clearly on the world map. A country which is roaring like a tiger, a country which is set to scale newer heights. Ladies and gentlemen, in a very straightforward description, the story of India over the last 3 decades can really be told through the story of these 3-4 great cricketers of our times. Today, Indranil Basu, one of the foremost cricket journalists of our times, is with us to tell us what really happened that Virat Kohli suddenly has decided to hang up his boots. So Indranil, tell me what happened. Suddenly, Virat Kohli decides to follow Rohit Sharma. Why?
I mean, it was not planned. I'm still in shock. I mean, after the news broke, I don't know how I missed that news.
What are the scars of Australia? I sometimes wonder, because there was so much of criticism, which was mounted against Virat Kohli post the Australian
and the way he was getting out in similar fashion.
The way he was getting out, it was felt that all you had to do was to bowl at a 5th, 6th stump line, and Virat Kohli was going to nick the ball.
Absolutely.
Has it got the better of him?
No, I don't think. He's never chickened out of any challenges. He sort of embraced Test match challenges. He loved playing Test matches. In fact, he defined his narrative about cricket was defined through Test cricket. I mean, how can you go like that? I mean, unceremonious this is. I mean, the fact that he was playing Ranji Trophy, 30,000 people turned up, and he was telling all the kids the stories of Indian dressing room. And he said he wants to score. I mean, Sarandeep Singh, who was the Delhi coach, he said he wanted to score 3-4 centuries in England. All of a sudden, what happened?
Was it England? I mean, that's the point. I'm just wondering, who better than you to help us go through the mind of a cricketer like Virat Kohli? Here is a champion batsman who's done so well for our country for such a long period of time, against whom there are so many expectations that not just India, by the way, the entire cricketing fraternity has. He has a horrible tour of Australia. There are jokes which are mounted that has Virat Kohli lost his Midas touch? Is he just spotting the ball late? Much like what happened with Rahul Dravid, who was the other great batsman who was forced to, in a sense, quit Test cricket after an unsuccessful tour to Australia when Rahul Dravid was constantly getting bowled right through the gates.
Yeah.
Virat Kohli, the fact that India now goes to England for its next Test series, was it bothering him? Was it kind of weighing on his mind that all the legacy which he's built with such great care may actually just get reduced to being looked at through a tour of Australia and a potentially disastrous tour of England?
What I can make out is that you have to regard a senior once you're coming back and look at this record. Someone who has played 123 Test matches, on the verge of scoring 10,000 Test runs. He's a legend. I mean, he's a modern day legend, and you can't probably rule him out like that. But there has something has gone wrong. Dal mein kuch kala hai. Kuch hai, definitely. Because someone who loves cricket, a Ranji Trophy match, he turns up like 2 hours before. And he's going to the gym. He plays Pakistan in Dubai in the Champions Trophy. He actually bats for an hour before actually goes to the field.
Yeah, I remember he came to face the nets at Arun Jaitley Stadium, and the gates were open, and the whole stadium was full because everybody just...
Yeah, just imagine. So he loved that, and he loved Test cricket, and all of a sudden, he decides, look, I'm not going to pursue this passion anymore. And look at his fitness level. Look at the way he throws the ball from the boundary. Look at the way he encourages people. It's just about He played that Ranji match in Delhi, for instance. He scored 12 odd runs. I don't exactly remember. He came back to the dressing room and he kept the entire squad on their feet. Look at the way Delhi played against Railways, beating them in less than 3 days.
Here's the point, Indranil. I'm wondering whether when you're someone like a Virat Kohli who's seen the kind of adulation and great peaks of success, in the past he's often spoken about mental health issues, right? About how important it is to remain mentally fit. Is it that at this stage of his career, is that dreaded mental fitness dilemma, is it beginning to bother him?
No. I don't think it's not a burnout issue at all. No mental, not at all. I mean, look at how can you just go there? I mean, look, you'll see him play on IPL. I mean, IPL matches is going to start again, restart, and look at the way the energy he brings to the field. He's next level. But I believe 2007 we turned back, and 2007 Greg Chappell told Sachin to come down the order, and he questioned the credibility of Sachin Tendulkar. Sachin said, it doesn't feel nice when the coach questions your credibility. And Greg Chappell was out. So 2007 and 2025, Gautam Gambhir is the coach. Earlier we had a Kumble episode also where Virat was all powerful because of his performances. He's not as good as he should be. Last 3-4 years, only 2 to 300s or something. So he is not in that position of strength, and he's not been regarded for what he has done for Indian cricket. Probably that's the reason. I know for sure Rohit Sharma is told.
Does he command a place in the Test playing 11? He may have done great wonders for Indian cricket in the past.
He does because of this sheer legacy
performance.
Of course, I mean the what he brings to the table, not only runs. I mean, opposition would see a Virat Kohli and they would be scared. They'll be on their feet. Oh God, this is Virat Kohli standing next to me.
Are you suggesting that since you were bringing us up to speed with what happened with Greg Chappell and Sachin Tendulkar, or an Anil Kumble versus a Virat Kohli, at the end of the day, is this a culmination of a long-standing?
No, I mean, in Indian cricket has always been the captain who is the boss. Whenever a coach has tried to be the boss, we have faltered. I mean, you turn the pages, you'll get your answer for yourself. I mean, look at the way Anil Kumble tried. It didn't get so much of a success. Greg Chappell. You have to be a calm and quiet coach like Gary Kirsten, someone like Ravi Shastri, John Wright, and we earned a lot of success. Saurav Ganguly. Captain has to be powerful, and Virat must have seen how captain was dropped in Sydney Test match. So Rohit Sharma wanted to go to England. Okay, let's forget Virat Kohli for a while. Rohit Sharma wanted to go to England. He spoke to the selectors. I want to go. They said, you don't have a place. He said, give me a chance to captain at least for 2 Test matches. Let me see how it goes, and then I'll take a call. Selectors, BCCI coach, Gautam Gambhir, and of course the coach is saying, I'm not the selector, but he is part of selection meetings.
Ajit Agarwal, you mean?
The coach, the Gautam Gambhir, he's part of course he's deciding a lot of things. At times the selectors are overruling him, like he didn't want a share.
Is the coach the most powerful entity
right now he's become. Right now he will become. He's able to remove the current captain of the Indian Test team. And
effectively the greatest batsman of all times.
The greatest white ball cricketer we have, Rohit Sharma. He's a big name. So he's been told, you're not required. For Virat Kohli, it wasn't the case. I don't know so far what has exactly happened behind the scenes.
I wonder, just to stay with your line of thinking, look at Sachin Tendulkar, right? The god of cricket.
He was told.
But he got a farewell series for himself against the West Indies.
Yeah.
Right? In India.
Yeah.
Where he got a test match to play on his home ground at the Wankhede.
And he was not willing to let go. He wanted to play. He wanted to play beyond 200 test matches. And they said you will be judged no more. You can't play on reputation anymore. You will be judged on your form and fitness. And that's where Sachin quit. So Virat didn't get to that. I mean, probably the only cricketer after Sunny Gavaskar, sir, in 87, you spoke about, to retire on his own. Otherwise, all the legends are told. Look at Rohit Sharma. He was told, you're no more required. Everyone was told.
I'm wondering, what's the messaging which is coming right now from the Indian cricketing establishment? The example of Rahul Dravid comes to my mind again. A Mahendra Singh Dhoni, right? He tried to prolong his cricketing career, and he still plays IPL. And now, after so many years, questions are being raised about whether he should be playing the IPL or not. A Rohit Sharma bids farewell to T20 cricket after a high of a victory at the World Cup, but does not get a farewell kind of a series in India. A Virat Kohli, who's anyways a much bigger player than a Rohit Sharma, also boxed in the same category. What's the message which is coming from the Indian cricketing establishment?
I mean, we don't know how to honor our legends. That's been our bad habit for years. BCCI, they have never managed to do it well.
Are you not
Yuvraj Singh wanted.
Are you not being unfair to Gautam Gambhir or the Indian cricket bosses? Because if you're not performing,
I mean, they want to
long
start
will
the
your
World
legacy
Test
keep you?
Championship cycle with a new team, with a new captain and Shubman Gill. They want a few senior players like Jasprit Bumrah and things like that. But how far will they be successful? We don't know, because the current setup, if the captain is in question, just imagine the state of mind of a young player. The dressing room is not good. I mean, not a good place right now. I mean, we lost in Australia. They said it's filled with toxicity. So there is something wrong, massively wrong. And what's getting wrong? I mean, people question your credibility. A senior player walking out before a series, senior most, a legend walking out before why didn't he announce it beforehand? There are reports saying that he's been in talks with the selectors and BCCI for a month. I didn't hear anything. No one heard anything. All of a sudden, this news comes after Rohit Sharma is told not to travel with the team to England. So there is something fishy, definitely. There is something fishy.
He was told. Are you saying that before Virat Kohli announced his retirement, was he told?
No. I mean, Rohit Sharma was told.
Rohit
Sharma was told. Virat wasn't told. But the fact that Virat decided to do it just before a series, it means something is not right.
Okay, let me ask you.
Something is really massively.
Is there any scope of the decision being reversed?
No.
Can Virat Kohli be
when the
upon?
news happened, like I was not party to the news, and when I sort of made phone calls and all that, I got to know he's going to do it in next 3 days, which he did. But Virat Kohli being such a stalwart, and he's got a lovely settled life. He has got a house in London. He's got a house somewhere in some island beyond
money
Bombay.
is not a question for him.
He's not playing for money. He's playing for mental satisfaction. And if you're not, that dressing room is not giving you, is not regarding you. So definitely he'll take a chance. And who is doing that? We all know that, right? They have a history. Virat Kohli, Gambhir, they have a history.
They have a history.
Even,
but I was looking at the video of Virat Kohli and Anushka Sharma going to meet the Manji at Vrindavan today, where there was this whole conversation which was taking place about the state of mental well-being, about what's the definition of happiness that has been provided to you by Lord, greatness and fame and everything. I wonder how much of this decision which has been taken by Virat Kohli today, how much of this is influenced, say, by Anushka Sharma?
So I don't know, I mean, what exactly happened behind the scene, but Anushka Sharma being part of the family, of course, played a huge role in that. Probably Virat would have consulted MS Dhoni, because that's the kind of rapport they have between them. Probably Sachin Tendulkar after that disastrous 2014 England tour.
I recently came across a news article on the podcast which was done by Virat Kohli with the Rajasthan Royals. And in that podcast, Virat Kohli was talking about how lonely it can be to be at the top. And he was giving examples of how he's run out of friends all through his playing years. And he gave a very specific example, and that kind of stayed with me, where in the IPL, he ended up interacting with a couple of his very old friends. And they went out for a meal. And Virat says in this podcast that all these people were referring to him as Aap, which is a symbol of respect. So earlier they would have referred to him as Tum or Tu, which is the way, friendly.
But Virat created this difference. I mean, that wall. Because Virat Kohli, when he was a captain, he didn't have time to have meals, even with his teammates. Because after the match would get over, he would go back to the dressing room, then to the hotel, then the brand Virat would be visited. So there is no scope for any teammate coming and knocking at his door and having a chat. And that's why Rohit Sharma worked on it. Worked on that situation. He got the players to go for dinner. It's been working behind the scene. It's not an easy thing. And Rohit and Virat are not great friends. It's a marriage of convenience. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. When Virat wasn't the captain, Rohit was the captain. Rohit helped him to stay on. And
That's a very serious statement that you're making. You're saying that Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma,
they are not best of
in
friends.
your understanding,
No, they've never been best of friends. But it's just, it suited each other. So they were friends. And that's why Virat lost friends, because whenever it suited people, he made friends, and it doesn't work like that. You're a friend forever. MS Dhoni still goes to Kakaji, the tennis coach in Ranchi Stadium, and would have meal with them. And MS Dhoni has that sort of aura. Stay simple. It's a बड़गद का पेड़ होते हैं, झुका रहता है. So you have to be like that. So these guys are big time celebrities.
So is it that Virat, now after all these years, is he trying to take corrective steps in his brand?
Of course, he must have been, I don't know, he must have consulted an astrologer. We all do.
I don't.
And I was given this, okay, emerald. So,
Sure.
yeah, but, so, I mean, you might be taking, I know a lot of IPL owners.
I mean, I was
They have
quite
access-
surprised, actually. I was quite surprised, to go through the podcast and the reporting of this podcast of Virat. Because to me, it clearly was that here is a person who's maybe doing a lot of self-introspection. Maybe he wants to take corrective steps, and maybe he feels that one of the critical parts of getting his life back is to give something up. And maybe Test cricket
Very
is
well
what he's
said.
willing to.
Yeah.
Is what he's going to give up. But what happens to his white ball cricket then? He's out of T20. He's out of Test cricket.
It's going to be tough, I guess, right? I mean, because you're not playing T20, that's bulk of cricket. And how many ODI matches are we playing throughout the year? For Rohit Sharma, I can clearly tell you, Gautam Gambhir, the coach, will inevitably will step in and say, okay, we need a new captain for white ball cricket. Probably Hardik Pandya could be given. You never know. And I was talking to Kapil Dev, and he said a new white ball captain should be Hardik Pandya. Surya Kumar Yadav is not scoring so consistently in T20. Probably Surya would have to be removed. I don't know. Eventually that might happen. But what I'm seeing is we'll have a new white ball captain and a new red ball captain. Gill and, of course, Hardik Pandya taking
How
Indian
will we
cricket.
remember? Okay, last question then. Indranil. How are we going to remember the legacy of the great Virat Kohli?
I mean, the energy he got to the field, the fitness standards of Indian cricket improved so much. There was yo-yo test and all that. Rohit Sharma came in and said, no more required. And we did a story on body shaming and all that before also on this channel. And I don't think it's going to be, it's going to change. The fitness level of Indian cricketers have gone up to next level. Look at the way cricketers eat. They're so conscious.
But what will happen to the TV camera, the broadcasting camera? Because
he is a character.
If Virat Kohli was on the field, no matter who was bowling, no matter who was batting,
he was the most expensive 12th man in the West Indies.
The
and
camera was always
on him.
Focused on Virat.
We'll find a character. Indian cricket is known to do that. We find a hero. We were so worried when Gavaskar was going in 80s that when Sachin came, Sachin was leaving. We were so worried. Virat came. Probably we'll have a new hero coming our way, and he'll be equally worshipped, and we're looking forward to that era of Indian cricket.
All right.
जो शुरू होता है वो खत्म भी होता है.
जो शुरू होता है खत्म भी होता है. जो जीता वही सिकंदर. हर पिक्चर का एक शुरुआत, एक इंटरवल और एक क्लाइमैक्स. Maybe Virat Kohli, arguably one of the greatest entertainers on a cricket field, was exactly one of those people. Has his final come, and did the final come in the manner that he would have expected that final to come? I guess sports journalists like me will always have something more to add to that. But thanks so much. If you like this conversation, well, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can follow us on our Twitter as well as our Instagram handle.